Welcome back, guys. So far we have made it through this Arctic blast of 2021. We have not had any casualties on the farm. No chickens, goats, turkeys, anything. Everything's been doing good. Luckily, fingers crossed, because it's still pretty cold. In the nights it's still been getting down to like 0 degrees. And that's something we're going to talk about today. But luckily we have not had any baby goats born. And we don't have to shuffle around heat lamps and put mamas in stalls with the babies or any of that. So that is a good thing. Thank you guys so much for praying for us. I think we're going to make it out of this. And we did learn a few things. You know, we like to think that we're always prepared, but it seems like every time that something like this happens, which does not happen very often here in our area of Oklahoma, but you always learn from it. And I like to say that that's a good thing, because you can take from that, and then the next time this happens, we're going to be better prepared. But one thing we got going on today that we're going to be trying to do is, the sun's out. You can see there's still snow on the ground. We still got 6 or 8 inches of snow on the ground, whatever. It's like 40 degrees right now. And let me show you something. If you caught my last video, look at this. The hydrant is frozen. This is a frost-free hydrant, but key word being frost-free. We have a hard freeze, and I just seen one of our local news stations shared a picture on Facebook to where a construction company was digging down, and they had 24 inches of frozen clay in the ground. And that is insane. In Oklahoma, the standard for digging water lines is 18 inches, and that's about what ours is. Our water line is not froze. And I'll show you guys a little bit about that here in a minute. But we're going to have to figure out a way to get this thing unthawed. Let me show you here what I'm talking about. So the goats are down to about a day's ration worth of water. And I don't want to have to haul it in buckets and all that. So we're going to try to get this thing thawed out today while the sun's out and the weather is pretty nice. But let's walk down here. I want to show you guys kind of what's going on. So this is the middle hydrant right here at the barn, and then the water line comes off of that hydrant there, and it comes down to here, and this is the middle hydrant, and then we got one down at the hog pen. So we're going to walk down to the hog pen, and we're going to see if that one is froze up or if it is working. Everybody thinks I'm going to feed them. Come here, Daisy. What are you doing, girl? Huh? You been chasing coyotes every night? Huh? Some stinky coyotes been coming around. Yeah. You're a good girl. So we got one little goat that is a noisy guy. Every time he thinks it's feeding time, he just has to start screaming. Got some way behind. I'll feed you guys in a minute. So I haven't fed them yet because their hay bale is out. Today is the day where I got to get the Kubota L3300 that has the hay spear on the front end loader. We're going to get our last round bale. I think our hay number is going to work out just great this year. We did buy a little extra than we did last year, and we've already used more than we did last year. We didn't have all this cold temperature. So we're going to load them up a hay bale here in just a little bit, but I haven't fed them yet because I got to feed them outside the barn so I can get the tractor in the barn without them getting out. Alright, so we walk down here to the hog pen, and this is the frost-free water hydrant we got down from the barn on the same line. Let's see if this one's froze up. So this one is good to go. We'll let it run a little bit, just to make sure it's not gravity in the line, because like I said, it is downhill from that one, and that's 1-inch pipe, so it can hold a little bit of volume of water. But with that pressure, I'm going to say that is actually off the water tower and not just from the water that's left in the line. So we'll go ahead and shut it off, and then we'll get some tools and stuff. Got something that I want to try just to see if it works, to try to unthaw that, or thaw out that water hydrant. Alright guys, so like I said, the goats are getting thirsty. They got about a day's worth of water left, and this thing's froze up solid. somewhere in here, and what I'm guessing is these frost-free hydrants are designed to where they got a little weep hole on the bottom part of them that's way underneath the ground. And what that does is when you shut this handle off, it actually opens up the weep hole in the bottom, so all the water throughout this pipe drains out, and that's what makes them frost-free. But since our ground froze, I think what happened is that weep hole might have got plugged up with some sand or some silt or dirt or whatever. And I don't know how that's possible because I put tons of creek gravel, all the little pea-sized gravel all around it. And that's supposed to keep dirt and stuff out of it, but for whatever reason, it is what it is. So I got this wire all wrapped around here. I want to get these out of the way because I'm fixing to light this sucker up. I have here this propane torch. I can't remember how many BTUs this thing throws, like 110,000 or something crazy like that. Goes on this 20-pound propane bottle, and it's pretty much just like a flamethrower. So what we're going to do is we're going to try this little propane torch first, just to kind of see if we can't get this thing warmed up. And that's usually how I get this ignited. It don't have a self-igniter like some of the fancier ones. So we'll just set that right there. And what I'm going to have to do is move all this plastic and rubber because it will melt it. We don't want to tear anything else up. Let's move this thing out of the way, just to be safe. So this thing throws a pretty big flame. Uh-oh. Don't be running out of gas. Yeah, I think we're fixing to run out of gas, so need to get this thing lit pretty quick. We might as well turn this off to save our fuel. We'll leave that running a little bit just to get all that ice out of that pipe. Heck yeah, go ahead and get this tank filled up. So that is awesome. You guys seen that work? That thing can actually be used for all kinds of stuff. You can use it to clear driveways, clean off your parking lots, whatever. You seen how fast it was melting that snow off the ground. And now we got our goats some fresh water. So this thing's actually a lifesaver. That's awesome. Daisy, we got you some fresh running water, girl. What do you think? Are you happy? Yeah, whenever, probably this spring, I'll probably dig this up. I'll dig this hydrant back up and just see what the problem is. For some reason, that thing is not draining like it's supposed to. Because we have 5 of these total on our property. And this is the only one that's giving us problems. It's like the most important one, of course, down here by our biggest goat herd right next to the barn. That's the whole purpose that we put this thing in, is to not have to haul water back and forth. And we did have the one about 50 yards or so, just right up this way, up this fence line. And in the past, we always just ran a water hose down here and filled it up. But you guys know how that goes when you have water hose out here in the freezing temperatures. As soon as you turn that water off, if you don't drain that hose every time, you hear them goats, baby goat, it's going to be plugged up every time you go to use it, and it's a pain in the butt to try to thaw out every time. So, you know, we do have backups to backups, like I said in some of our last videos. We have the ponds where we could always go get containers of water, transport it back and forth with the tractor, the Ranger, whatever. We can go down to the creek, our local lake. We can do whatever we have to do to get these goats water. It's just not that easy as just turning on a hydrant and filling up the tanks. So I always say work smarter, not harder. Right, Days? What are you crying for? So we'll let this one get filled up, and then we'll go ahead and fill this one up. It's going to take a little bit to fill up because these are 50-gallon tanks. And that is another thing I want to talk about. A lot of people have been asking us what size tanks we use and why we use these shallow ones instead of the ones that hold a lot more water. Well, if you guys look at these are like 3.5, 4 foot long, and they're about 2 foot wide, but they're only about 16 inches deep. And the reason we do that is goats aren't really a tall animal like a cow. So if these things were, say, 2 to 3 foot tall, the goat wouldn't be able to drink past halfway down. And plus the little baby goats, since we got the little ones here, a lot of times they get curious and they'll start jumping around and playing and not paying attention to their surroundings. And sometimes they'll actually jump in here. And if you had one that was 2 or 3 foot tall, they're probably going to drown. At least with these little short, shallow stock tanks, if a little baby goat gets in here, they should be able to climb right out. They actually have a lip, kind of like a ledge on the inside halfway up as well. And that gives them a little bit of a step to get up on and then jump right out. So it's just kind of more of a security insurance type thing, just in case a baby goat gets in here. And plus, being able to let the goats get all the way down to the bottom, just like we just happened. I mean, I wasn't able to fill these up for a couple days with the water hydrant, so the goats have been drinking out all the way to the bottom, where if they had a big tall one, they wouldn't be able to do that. And that is another thing. If you are in an absolute emergency where your water lines are froze up and stuff, look at all this snow on the ground. You can start shoveling snow, putting it in here and melting. It takes a lot of snow to equal you know, an amount of inch of water. I can't remember the inches of snow per inches of water. It's like 10 inches of snow equals 1 inch of water, or a tenth of water, or something like that. But you can't always do that in an emergency. So this one's full. I'm going to go ahead and switch this one back over. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off just to see if it comes back on. Well, I got this propane tank here, but I think running it for that long there probably did the trick to get all that ice out of the line. Oh yeah. Heck yeah, guys, we're back in business now. Just got to remember to plug that heater back in because it will get cold again tonight as soon as the sun goes down. Alright guys, so we're going to get this one filled up. We'll feed the goats and get them over here in this pasture. I'll feed them in this little feeder on the ground, the tartar feeder. Lock the gate and we'll get them a new hay bale put in there. So although our big tractor is in the shop and the fuel is treated and all that, so is this one now. The other day I actually put some of the fuel treatment in the Kubota L3300. This one is the one that has the hay spike on the front end loader. And I actually drove it around, let it run for about 30 minutes. And what we're going to do now is make sure this thing will still fire up, because it's got the hay spear on it, and it's just a lot safer using this to load the hay than trying to use the bucket. And the grapple, I can use the grapple, but the grapple is sitting here in the snow right now. I took it off the other day because I knew we were going to have to clear the driveway with the big tractor and the regular bucket. So let's see if this thing will fire up. Not yet. Good to go. I'm gonna let this thing warm up. I'm gonna go put the propane tanks up, and then we'll go grab a hay bale and put it in the barn. But first, we gotta take the tarp down. I almost forgot about that. Let's go talk about that real quick. See, the goats are enjoying their fresh water, free of ice cubes. It's not like a hot coffee, but it ain't frozen. Alright guys, so we put this tarp up the other day. Actually, we've had it up for a couple weeks. I don't know if we really talked about it on the video or not. And I actually used a ladder to put it up. And let's see if we can't get it down without getting a ladder. And I bet the goats are going to knock the camera down. I don't think we're going to need this anymore. The weather's supposed to get warmer. Turn it up. You guys stay away from the camera. Hey. Man, you guys are so ignorant. I bet I'm gonna have to get the ladder for one little screw. Nope. Alright, so now I'm gonna get some feed, get them locked out of here so I can actually get the tractor in here without them getting out of the barn. What? You're the only smart one. Come on, goats. I think I'm feeding them in the barn. Come on, goats. Come on. Hey. Not in the barn. Come on. Release the goats. Come on, goats. Well, it seems like enough babies, but I guess it is. I'll go put some in the baby's creep feeder. Here, Daisy, come here. All right, we got them locked in out of the barn. They've got their feet out here for now. I'm gonna hop on the tractor and go grab a round bale. Probably not gonna film it. You guys have seen me do this enough. As soon as I get it done, we'll be right back. All right, so we got the hay bale put in. And I want to talk about something that comes with the benefits of feeding hay to your goats like this. And a little bit of it is waste. But on the other side of it, it's actually a bonus because the wasted hay bales provides bedding and keeps them out of the dirt, because our barn does not have a concrete floor. It is just dirt floor. But a lot of this is built up from wasted hay. Daisy's right in the way, of course. Well, you know, girl. But look at this. This is how much bedding and wasted hay they get out of these feeders. I really need to invest in some better hay feeders, because that costs a lot of money wasting all this hay like this. But on the benefit, like I said, guys, they got all this nice big fluffy mattress that keeps them dry all year long to sleep on. So there you go, there's that. And let me get this gate shut here. Good thing I got a 4-wheel drive. Actually, we got 2 4-wheel drive Kubota tractors. And I don't have a fancy gate latch on this gate, just the baling wire from some hay. Alright, let's let them back in. They'll be glad to get some fresh hay. Alright guys, move the camera over here because I know they're going to knock it down. Unleash the goats. There they come. Guys, I got a treat for you. Come on. Come on, looky here. Where did I go? Straight to the hay. Daisy, what are you doing? Huh? I gotta go get your food in just a second. Well, you know, two socks. Huh? What are you doing, little boy? So everybody is grabbing a mouthful of hay. They can't even talk. They're so excited and they got their mouths full. You got anything to say? Huh? Munch, munch, munch. Even the little ones are down here munching away. I'm sure glad we went ahead and bought extra hay bales this year. You never know how cold it's going to be. So last year, like I said, I think we bought 8 hay bales last year, and this year we bought 11. Last year we ran out, but this year this is it. This is the last one, and we're only mid-February, end of February really. So won't be long, and we'll be turning the goats back out here. All that winter wheat and all the turnips I planted way too late, and the turnips actually came up, but they didn't really produce any because it was just way too cold. So here, maybe this week or something, I might go get a bunch of winter wheat and stuff like that and go ahead and plant it on this cold ground and see if it will germinate as soon as the snow and stuff's gone. And then in a week or two after that comes up, I might go ahead and turn these goats loose out here on the big field. I think the babies are big enough now that we don't have to worry about them. We got most of the brush piles burnt last summer. I mean, these goats are going to town on this hay. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys might have learned something today from the way I got that frozen water hydrant thawed out. That propane torch, I'm telling you, it's like, I think I don't even know how much they are, 40 or 50 bucks. This is the one that does not have the electric igniter, so you got to use a striker or just a lighter, or in my case I use one of those little propane burners. It does have a self-igniter on there, and it works pretty good. But man, it's a lifesaver, I'm telling you. I didn't have to go get there's all kinds of things you could do. I could have wrapped that pipe with some heat tape and insulated it, and then wrapped it with some regular tape, plugged it in. But sometimes you just do not have electric available in those kind of areas and stuff. So this little flamethrower torch, it worked great. I'll try to, if I can remember, I'll put a link down in the description, and I'll try to pin a comment with that link to where you can buy them on Amazon. And if any of you guys think you might need it, you might check them out, because just using it this one time, it's really been a lifesaver. Kept me from having to do a lot of extra work and hauling buckets and buckets of water. Ain't that right, girl? She wants her lovin's. Yeah, you're a good girl. So Daisy's been a little bit on the secure side here lately. We've been having some coyotes come close to the house, and I'll save that for another video. And but she's been working overtime, you might say. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. I gotta go feed the other goats and do all kinds of other stuff today. Take advantage of this nice sunshine. I think we are on the upswing of things. It's looking beautiful. I just wish the snow would hurry up and melt, but it is what it is. We'll take it, keep moving forward, and just be blessed that we have another day here. So guys, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, like this, comment, and we'll see you next time. Listen to that crunch.